Hey Facebook and YouTube, my name is Jeff. I'm the first counselor of the Second Order Ministries. This is section 132, part 6, number 6, and on the last video we left off on 41. And as ye have asked concerning adultery, verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man receiveth a wife in the new and everlasting covenant, and if she be with another man, and I have not appointed unto her by the holy anointing, she hath committed adultery, and shall be destroyed. So it's talking about if a woman got married to a man, they sealed that marriage under the new and everlasting covenant. So they're sealed to each other, like they can't break that up. The only way that marriage should be broken up is if one of the couple committed adultery. In this case, it's talking about if the woman commits adultery. So if a woman marries a man and they are under the new and everlasting covenant of marriage, the celestial law of marriage, and if she goes with another man, she has committed adultery and shall be destroyed. Brigham Young said that if he ever found a man with any of his wives, he said that he would stab both of them through with a javelin. Both of them. His wife and the guy that she was with. Both of them. Why? Because God said that they're going to be destroyed anyway. He's going to destroy them one way or the other. In that act of adultery, you don't die physically, you die spiritually. Okay, 42. If she be not in the new and everlasting covenant, and she be with another man, she has committed adultery. So even if you live monogamy, you still made a covenant to some degree that to stay together, to stay true to each other. So if the woman goes with another man, that's adultery. She'll also be destroyed then even. Okay, 43. And if her husband be with another woman, and he was under a vow, he hath broken his vow and hath committed adultery. So this is again just regular marriage, monogamy. If a man marries a wife and then he goes off with another woman, then that's adultery. Because they were under a vow and he broke his vow by going with another woman. Unless he was going to marry that woman. If he wanted to take on another wife, then he would have to marry her first, though. Okay, 44. And if she hath not committed adultery, but is innocent, and hath not broken her vow, and she knoweth it, and I reveal it unto you, my servant Joseph, then shall you have power by the power of my holy priesthood to take her and give her unto him that hath not committed adultery, but hath been faithful, for he shall be made ruler over many. So it's talking about has broken her vow. So I think this is talking about monogamy again. Or no, it's not. It's talking about the celestial law of marriage. So if a man commits adultery, if a man committed adultery and the woman didn't commit adultery, that man defiled himself. He was just like King David. His wives should all be taken from him. Just like King David, all of his wives were all taken from him. And that wife will be taken from that man, given to another faithful man, a man that has not committed adultery. So these women that are with evil men and they've committed adultery, they'll eventually be taken from that guy and given to a faithful man. If not on this world, then up in heaven. Because God's going to fix all the marriages. Any marriage that was done wrong is going to be fixed up in heaven. As was Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith took wives from other men. Most people say that was adultery. But see, these men that he took these women from were not under the new and everlasting covenant. Their marriage were going to end at death anyway. So what he did was he went and he got his wives, the ones that the Lord revealed to him that were his, and he went and got them. Got his family, and for those wives he took, he gave those men other wives, their wives, the women that belonged to them. He took his wives and gave the men that he took the wives from their wives because they married wrong. And Brigham Young said that a woman can marry again and again until she gets it right. That doesn't mean that a woman can just go out and go with this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, over and over. No, that's adultery, that's fornication, that's all wrong. No, if she was in a relationship with some guy and the Lord told you that that was your wife and he revealed it to you, then that's your wife. You can let her continue on living life down here with her husband, or you can go and get her, or you can wait until after you die and you'll get her after when you die. Okay, now we're going to move on to 45. For I have conferred upon you the keys and power of the priesthood, wherein I restore all things and make known unto you all things in due time. So the Lord he gave Joseph Smith the keys of the priesthood, and he's going to restore all things and make known unto you all things in due time. So in his due time, he's going to make everything known unto us. He's going to tell us everything that we need to know in order to become gods. He'll train us up in the way that we should go, so that we may not depart from it. Okay, so we'll move on to 46. And verily, verily, I say unto you, that whatsoever you seal on earth shall be sealed in heaven, and whatsoever you bind on earth in my name, and by my word, saith the Lord, it shall be eternally bound in the heavens. And whatsoever sins you remit on earth shall be remitted eternally in the heavens, and whosoever sins you retain on earth shall be retained in heaven. So anything that Joseph Smith or the key holder seals on this earth will be sealed up in heaven. So if Joseph Smith sealed a marriage, that marriage is going to be sealed for time and for all eternity. That's what he did with these women when he took them. He sealed them to him for time and all eternity. Otherwise, they would have just continued on living life with the wrong guy, and their marriage wouldn't have been a force because they were not joined by God. They weren't under the new everlasting covenant. So their marriage was going to end at death anyway. So Joseph Smith, knowing what he knew, he went and fix this so that he could get his family before he died. And that's what he did. So the sins, it says right here, and whatsoever sins you remit on earth shall be remitted eternally in the heavens. So God's given Joseph Smith to remit sins. So those men that were committing adultery with Joseph Smith's wives, he fixed it. He fixed that sin. He took his wives and gave them their wives to fix it all. Otherwise, it would have been in a wrong situation. He took these wrong situations that